We indicated before that the issue of intent is the critical variable whereby subordinates measure bosses. We also asked you why you went to work, and you wrote down a list of things. Now this is very important because your reasons for going to work are in a sense nothing other than a statement of intent. When one examines that statement of intent, in other words, when you have a look at the things that you wrote down yourself, it would not be inconsistent with some of the things that you see here. In other words, it'll be things like earning a living, paying the bond, putting the kids through school, or alternatively learning and challenge and growth, or job satisfaction, or you're busy pursuing a career, you want to get on in life, or you want to contribute to society. These are the sorts of reasons that I found for people going to work. Now, in the first instance, what's important about that list is by far the majority of those issues are actually concerned with what the person's getting rather than what the person's giving. In other words, in terms of where you put yourself, if this is your reason to go to work, you most definitely a have to rather than a want to boss. What was very interesting about this information that you've just assessed is, in a sense, when you wrote it down. You wrote down that content as an answer to the question, why do you go to work? Which was the fifth question which you answered right at the beginning of this program. The fourth question that you answered, in other words, just before you answered this question, was the question, who is the boss that you would work for because you wanted to? And you wrote down a list of things that would not have been dissimilar with this. In other words, when you look at the boss and your requirement of the boss, your requirement is actually quite staggering. In fact, it's almost superhuman. The moment you look at your own reasons for going to work, the door is open to a whole host of things that are concerned with your own need. In fact, you've only really understood what leadership is about once the answer for your reasons for going to work is exactly the same content that you would have submitted for the question, who's the boss you'd work for because you want to.